Good evening, and thank you for joining our news broadcast from Davis Hall. My name is Tyler Johnson.
And I'm Tatum Coyle, bringing you stories relevant to IUP in the Indiana community.
Today, we will share stories about community events on and off campus and IUP students' involvement to help the Indiana community.
We will also have a story about the music department at IUP. But first, we will begin with stories close to us.
IUP off-campus students and Indiana Borough residents will receive new garbage carts this week, which will be required starting April 7th. Residents should place their carts in an open space near the curb, with the wheels facing the house. To ensure proper collection, loose bags and non-approved trash cans will no longer be collected after this week. Those wanting to dispose of old trash cans should attach a sign reading, "Throw away my trash can." Marked cans will be collected during regular garbage pickup. Additional carts can be ordered from Waste Management for a fee. Student renters should check out with property owners before discarding old cans. Collection days will remain the same, with adjustments for IUP move-in and move-out weeks. Bulk item disposal guidelines are available on Indiana Borough's Facebook page. Elderly or disabled residents needing accommodations should contact the borough for assistance.
A consumer alert by the Pennsylvania Public Utility Commission warns that a phone scam has been actively targeting PA residents. More than 70 false telephone calls were reported by residents in one day alone. Through a practice known as spoofing, the scam calls falsely appear to be from the PUC's Philadelphia office on caller ID. The fake caller says they are from the PUC and that a utility has received a request to switch their energy supplier. The caller might also claim to have a recording of the consumer agreeing to switch. Consumers are then tricked and pressured into making a payment to avoid having their utility switched or terminated. The PUC does not make direct calls to demand payment or to switch or terminate services. Any calls about a bill would follow multiple attempts by mail or email and could be handled by calling back to the consumer service phone number on the bill. Residents are warned they should not provide any kind of personal or financial information to callers who call them directly and should hang up immediately. Never trust caller ID alone and report any suspicious calls.
Into the Street event will be held this Saturday, rain or shine. Students who's participating in this event can choose to help one of the organizations in the community. Participants can help clean up the play yard at the Alice Paul House Domestic Violence Shelter, doing spring cleaning and yard work at local veterans parsonage. Other activities include helping to organize the Indiana Free Community Garden and organize toys at the Salvation Army. The largest project is an effort to pull invasive plants in an area of White's Woods. Last year there were 8 organizations involved. It is expected more organizations involved this year. Volunteers can help for a few hours or help all day. The event is held twice a year and intended to encourage a sense of community among IUP students by working together with faculty, staff, and the Indiana community.
The music department plays an important role at IUP, not only in teaching students about music, but also guiding students and collaborating with others. Tyler Johnson and Richard Denisco recently visited Cogswell Hall, home of the music department, and they spent time to talk with music professors and students. Here's the story.
Tucked away in a corner of campus, just behind the Crimson Cafe, lies the building known as Cogswell Hall, which is home to our music department, and the building has been around since 2005. Now, what some of you may not have known is, like every other department, the music department also hosts some events. We had the chance to talk with the department chair, Dr. Matthew Balmer, about some of these events coming up.
Well, we have a lot of great upcoming events in the music department. You can find all those events listed on the Lively Arts webpage. So if you just Google IUP Lively Arts, you can see our calendar, and we have some great concerts coming up. We're presenting a musical called Little Women. I believe that starts on April 3rd. And we also will have a number of concerts for all of our ensembles, the IUP Chorus, IUP Chorale, the IUP Symphony Band and Wind Ensemble, and the Symphony Orchestra, as well as the jazz ensembles. And all of them will have another concert yet this semester.
While Dr. Balmer may have mentioned auditions, we also talked with Miguel Torres about how auditions impact the university.
Auditions impact the university by one, setting a very high standard. You know, IUP is known for the good music program, and auditions keep the standard high. 2, it's an opportunity for upcoming students, freshmen like me, to impress your professors, you know, show them what you've been working on throughout your senior year of high school, what you have the opportunity to do. And then finally, some more for students again, you have the opportunity for scholarships. I got a scholarship, a very small scholarship for playing tuba, and I didn't expect it, but it helps out.
Auditions take place all throughout both semesters, with people finding out during the summertime. These auditions take place in just little rooms inside the department, and this is what they sound like. If you're interested in any of those events and want to find out about more events, please go inside Cogswell Hall and look at their bulletin board where they post all of their events happening throughout the semester. This has been Tyler Johnson and Richard Denisco for IUP News. Still ahead on IUP News, we will report national news.
And along with stories about federal job cuts and a local mosque here in Indiana and more. Stay tuned.
We all have a story. It's telling those stories that matter. That's why IUP's communications program airs its own news bulletin on Iup TV and 90.1 WIUP FM with the people you know telling the stories. Here, there are new aspiring journalists ready to start their career strong. Even if news isn't your goal, there is a place here for everyone. This is IUP News, with stories relevant to IUP and the Indiana community.
We're back with IUP News. The loss of thousands of jobs through federal job cuts will impact the work of the Center of Disease Control and Prevention, the Food Drug Administration, and the National Institute of Health. These organizations have been responsible in helping us fight diseases, monitor our verbal medicines, and develop our understanding on health through research. Health Secretary Robert Kennedy Jr. says his mass layoff will make government work better, but many health programs took big hits. Teams working on HIV, minority health, and even gun violence research are being shut down. At the FDA, they laid off all their press staff and 50 medicine checkers. Expert worries this means slower drug approvals and less protection for our health. The White House says there might be more cuts coming soon.
The White House will remove a historic magnolia tree as early as next week. The 7th U.S. President, Andrew Jackson, planted the historic tree in the 1820s to honor his late wife, who died before he took office. For the last 2 centuries, the tree has been a place where foreign leaders are often welcome for ceremonial visits and where the president departs to board the Marine One helicopter. President Trump ordered the removal due to what he said are safety issues from the aging tree. The National Park Service designated this tree as a witness tree in 2006 because it has been a witness to many significant historic and cultural events.
Ramadan, the holy month for the Muslim community around the globe, comes to an end. As always, the Islamic Center of Indiana, PA, played a crucial role in uniting the Muslim community during Ramadan and Eid Fitri. The center is a pivot for togetherness, not just during Ramadan, but throughout the year. Reporter Ram Sharma has the story.
The Islamic Center of Indiana, PA, has long been a keystone for the local Muslim community, providing a place for worship, learning, and connection. During Ramadan and Eid, the center becomes even more significant. This center is trying to strengthen unity and togetherness among Muslim community in Indiana. Imam, the main leader of the masjid, shares more about the role of Islamic Center to foster togetherness.
So generally throughout the whole year, this mosque is running, and we have the Friday prayer that the whole Muslim community in Indiana, and some people even from outside Indiana, come to the mosque at like 1:15 p.m. to pray together in congregation. However, in Ramadan, this beautiful, blessed month, we come to the Islamic Center of Indiana, Pennsylvania. We come to this masjid every single night.
The holy month of Ramadan and Eid, the time of unity, have just come to an end. During this time, Islamic Center played a pivotal role among Muslim community, ensuring no one celebrates alone. Professors, doctors, and students residing in Indiana who visit the center say it serves as a second home and fosters a sense of belonging. Also, they related celebrating Ramadan and Eid in Indiana to back home.
I feel the mosque is very nice idea. I'm very proud we have a Muslim in this place. I would like to have more activity in the place itself, not only religion activity, but social activity and so.
We are very fortunate here in Indiana because the community is very small and the town itself is very small. So one feels we're all one big family. So here in the mosque, for example, when we have the iftar, you feel this is your family, and it feels very good to be, in a family setting and an atmosphere.
Here we sit down with the friends. Back home, we sit down with the family. It's a family time. You sit down with your grandparents, father, mother, and they're watching over you, make sure that you're well fed. So things like that makes you happy.
The mosque or the masjid isn't just a place to worship. Beyond religious practices, Islamic Center brings people together, organizing different programs and events.
Sometimes we do a family night. So a family night would be a potluck where everybody will bring food from home, and then we would meet. We usually do that like once a month, and usually it would be like on a Saturday. Everybody get together, the whole community get to see each other. We had the Sunday school. So the Sunday school was specifically for the young brothers and sisters, where we go over some, education, something about the religion, something about the mosque, something about the Arabic language, and etc. So this is another thing that we do as well.
As the celebrations continue, one thing is clear: the Islamic Center of Indiana is a second home for many. It is a pillar of unity, bringing together people from different backgrounds to celebrate faith and friendship. This is Ram Sharma for Iup TV News.
When we come back, we will have international news. Please stay tuned.
Welcome to a place where opportunities abound, where students have the option to study healthcare in places all around the world, and thousands learn beyond the classroom every year. Welcome to the Oak Grove at IUP. Students here go out in the field to measure biodiversity, and even the Virgin Islands to study sustainability. Ready to pursue a real-world opportunity that brings your passion to life? Get in the Grove at IUP.
Looking for some new entertainment? Check out Iup TV today. This station features student-created content such as The Big Hit for sports coverage, Animation Nation for all things anime and toons, Indie Rockers Ball for local music acts, Press Start for your game fix, and Witticism for a laugh. Tune in on Campus TV or on our respective YouTube channels today. There's something for everyone, made by the people that you know.
Welcome back, IUP News. Myanmar is observing 7 days of mourning after a devastating 7.7 magnitude earthquake killed over 2,500 people and left thousands injured or missing. Flags will fly at half-mast until April 6th as the country faces its worst natural disaster in over 50 years. Mandalay, the hardest-hit city, has seen widespread destruction, forcing residents to sleep outside for 3 nights. The city's main hospital is so damaged that doctors are treating patients in parking lot tents. Struggling with extreme heat and supply shortages, rescue workers fear the death toll will rise as more victims are found. International aid is arriving, but relief efforts are hampered by Myanmar's political isolation.
The humanitarian crisis in Ukraine worsens as Russian strikes cripple power infrastructure, leaving thousands without electricity in the south. Despite Moscow's claims of halting attacks on energy facilities, Ukraine faces more days of cold and darkness. Officials warn this is part of Russia's ongoing strategy to plunge the country into blackout conditions. Meanwhile, a crucial U.S.-Ukraine mineral deal involving lithium and rare earth resources in exchange for military aid remains stalled. Talks halted after a tense exchange between former President Trump and President Zelensky. Aid groups fear this could be Ukraine's toughest year, with power shortages potentially leaving people without heat when winter returns.
Australian universities are shutting down Confucius Institutes amid concerns over Chinese government influence on campus. 6 major universities, including Melbourne, Queensland, and New South Wales, have closed these language and culture centers in recent months. The institutes have faced years of scrutiny from Australian officials due to its funding source from the Chinese government and their concerns over communist propaganda. While China claims the centers foster cultural exchanges, instructors are reportedly selected based on political loyalty. A 2019 Human Rights Watch report described the institutes as extensions of the Chinese government that center sensitive topics. Some universities cited COVID-19 disruptions for not renewing contracts, while others opted to develop their own Chinese studies programs.
Spring is here and in full swing. With the changing of season, it calls for a change of wardrobe. To give us a perspective of what spring fashion trends might pop up, reporters Gabby Shinosi and Quinlan Mulroy have the story.
With spring soon approaching and the weather warming up, on the IUP campus, flowers and trees are starting to bloom again. From yellows, pinks, blues, and greens, we are already seeing the colors of spring. To get a closer look to see what kids on campus are wearing, we have Talia Reese, a member of Alpha Gamma Delta, who currently runs their sorority's TikTok. She is constantly looking for the latest trends and fashion. Here's a look on what she's expecting to see this spring.
My fashion predictions for this spring are micro shorts. Micro shorts are a perfect pair with black high boots for a night out with friends. Another prediction I see is low-rise jeans. Micro shorts are also lower rise, so I feel like low rise is going to make a comeback this spring. In my opinion, these trends look good in photos and videos on my sorority's TikTok and Instagram.
Spring has finally arrived, and that means college campuses are buzzing with fresh new fashion trends. From breezy pastels to vintage-inspired streetwear, students are finding creative ways to express themselves while staying comfortable for class. To get a closer look on what's trending this season, we spoke with Ava, an IUP sophomore. She's here to share her take on the must-have looks and how to build a wardrobe that's both stylish and budget-friendly.
Right now, I really like big chunky gold necklaces. Anything gold, trucker hats are very in right now, and also belts. Even if you don't wear a lot of jewelry, a big statement purse would make your outfit stand. I could see a lot of people also wearing sambas are very in right now, and also sandals, platform sandals with long skirts. I really think the linen sets are, and also matching athletic wear, blouses, button-ups, anything like that.
This has been Gabby and Quinlan reporting for IUP TV News.
Still ahead on IUP News, we'll have a sports report with Alan Moultrie.
And a report on the weather with Carson Zadroga.
This is your time to engage, create, follow your passion, show your spirit, go all out, or just kick back. Here in the Oak Grove at the heart of IUP, endless opportunities await. Where do you fit in? Wherever you want. This is your time. This is your place. Get in the Grove at IUP.
We are back with IUP News Sports Edition. So Alan, what's the latest?
Good evening. There's a lot of exciting sports action coming up. So here's what's happening. IUP's men's baseball team has a back-to-back doubleheader against Lock Haven on Friday, April 4th, and home games on Saturday, April 5th. IUP women's softball team also has a back-to-back doubleheader with Friday's matchup being Pitt Johnstown and Saturday's matchup against California here at Ruth Pleblinski Field. IUP men and women track and field team is traveling to Williamsburg, Virginia on Friday, April 4th. IUP women's lacrosse team is going up against Edinburgh on Saturday, April 5th. IUP women's tennis is set to match up against Fairmount State on Saturday, April 5th. With the MLB season beginning, there are some exciting matchups taking place over these next couple of days. On Friday, April 4th, the San Diego Padres versus the Chicago Cubs, Toronto Blue Jays versus the New York Mets, Pittsburgh Pirates versus the New York Yankees, Los Angeles Dodgers versus the Philadelphia Phillies, and several more. And lastly, the women's soccer international friendly continues with Australia versus South Korea, Chile versus Haiti, and Canada versus Argentina on Friday, April 4th. Be sure to watch.
Thank you, Alan. We will now have a report from Carson about the weather.
Good afternoon, Indiana. Here's your weather report. Friday night, we have a 90% chance of rain in the evening. So I guess I don't really need these things. And they will be evolving into steady rainfall overnight. The low is going to be near 51 degrees from winds from the east. Southeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Saturday, we climb up to the high of 64 degrees. There is an 80% chance of showers and thunderstorms throughout the day. And winds coming from the south at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Saturday night, we got up to 90% chance of rain throughout the night. The low is near 49 degrees and the winds are coming from the southwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Finally, to end off the weekend, Sunday, the temperature drops to a high 52 degrees, 80% chance of rain scattered throughout the day. And winds are coming from the west-northwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Sunday night, we're dropped to a low 36 degrees. There's a 60% chance of precipitation as it will start with a steady rainfall, with a possible rain and slow mix late night. The winds are from the northwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. That's going to do it for weather. Report forecast. I'm Carson Zadroga, back to the news desk.
Thank you, Carson. When we come back, we move on to our final stories for the day on recent entertainment.
We'll be back soon, so don't go anywhere.
We're all searching for opportunity, a challenge. Here, asking what if, what's possible, is the mindset. Welcome to the Oak Grove at IUP, where big-time research opportunities are for the many, not just the few. And world-renowned professors ignite ambitions. Search here, and there's no telling how far you'll grow. Get in the Grove at IUP.
The best-selling game of all time, Minecraft, will be having a movie adaptation released on April 4th, 2025. The movie stars famous actors Jack Black and Jason Momoa. The film is fantasy adventure comedy film that takes place in the fictional world of Minecraft. The film has so far received criticism for the look of the world and the casting. The film was projected to make $58 million in the box office. Several brands have created a movie tie-in to the film, like McDonald's and several toy companies.
Recently, Marvel Studios released a nearly 6-hour stream showing a line of director chairs that revealed the cast for the 2026 movie Avengers Doomsday. The live stream saw around 100,000 viewers at once. This stream and the later trailer saw millions of viewers, surpassing other Marvel trailers. The trailer received 26 cast members, some actors from current MCU movies and some from the older movies. Actors announced for the cast included Patrick Stewart, Ian McKellen, James Marsden, Kelsey Grammer, Paul Rudd, Pedro Pascal, and Robert Downey Jr.
There are a few fun activities this weekend. There is a Broadway musical called Little Women, which will be held this week in Waller Hall. And for comm students who are graduating, there is a comm awards banquet. Make sure you register soon.
There will also be a scholar forum where students showcase and present their research. We'll have a story about this next week.
That's going to do it for us today at IUP TV News, in association with IUP News and students looking for careers in the communications field. My name is Tatum Coyle.
And I'm Tyler Johnson. Be sure to follow our Instagram page at IUP_news and our YouTube channel at IUP News 4207. Please take care and have a safe weekend.